Hello everyone. I hope that everyone is staying safe at home. Stay at home, stay safe, and I hope that everyone is having the fun time itself, right? But in the midst of that fun time, also we have to do some of the classes. As I think that everyone knows about this one. So here, right now, here I am for class 8, and the subject is history, and the chapter we have today, chapter 2, and the topic we have is the establishment of the company's power in India. So now we have to understand first, what is the company? What is the name of this company who had established its power in our country, right? So for that we have to know the term meaning here, the company. And it refers to as the English East India Company. East India Company. So everyone have understood now, like the company here, it refers to as the English East India Company. And what is it? This company, it was a name that is given to the English company that have visited to our country during the time of Queen Elizabeth I, and this company had visited to our country especially for the purpose of trade. And what is trade? Trade is directly, it refers to the business only. So East India Company, who visited to our country for the first time as a purpose of the trade, this company later on, English, British, they have controlled our country for 200 years. So all these are the introduction only, or this chapter 2, this topic itself has given us all the details, like how the English they have came to our country, how they have discovered to stay back in our country, and how they have ruled our country. So for this one, we have to go back to the earlier stories that has regarded the story that is from 15th to 16th century. 15th to 16th century. So we have to again move back to the olden stories. So for this one, wait. And in class 7 syllabus also, like most of you have already studied about our country. Like India was not like what you people are looking right now, isn't it? So India that was ruled by the various kinds of the kings, and the various kinds of the kingdoms were also present, right? So for that purpose, let us not go in detail here, but we can know the present boundaries of New Delhi right now, and the boundaries of the present boundaries of the states near to Delhi. Let us come to the point only here. So see, in the class 7 syllabus also you people have already studied whatever the present boundary of New Delhi is there during that period, in between 15th to 16th century. So during this period, whole these New Delhi, sort of the province, that was all ruled by the famous dynasties, let's say, like the Delhi Sultanate. I hope that everyone is coming back to your memory. One is Delhi Sultanate, next one is Mughal dynasty. Next one is Mughal dynasty. So you people have already studied of the Delhi Sultanate, Mughal dynasty. And don't think that these are only the two dynasties that have controlled our country, they have ruled our country. No, there are various kinds of the dynasties that have already ruled our country, but we have to talk only about these two great dynasties that have ruled this particular place during the 15th and the 16th centuries. And during this period, we have to go to the Mughal dynasty to understand how the foreign country, how the foreign power they have came to our India and captured our country. So we have to move back to the Mughal dynasty only. And among all the Mughal emperors, great Mughal emperors was there. Everyone knows about this one. So among all the great Mughal emperors, the last great Mughal emperor was Aurangzeb. I hope that you remember him as a great hero of the Mughal dynasty. So being as a last great strong ruler of the Mughal dynasty, after him there was no any successive rulers. There was no any benevolent and a strong ruler like Aurangzeb. So it is said there are other Mughal emperors also after him, after the death of the Aurangzeb itself. His sons was there, but they were not able. So in the Indian history we have come to the fact that Aurangzeb being as the last and the benevolent, strong ruler of the Mughal dynasty. And it is also said, Indian history also has given us the details, like after the death of the Aurangzeb, after the collapse of the Mughal dynasty, our country do not have any strong kingdom to rule our country. Okay, so because of this one, because of this collapse of the Mughal dynasty, after the death of the Aurangzeb, after the irresponsibility of the later Mughal emperors, now this whole area has been collapsed. Collapse means disintegrated. Whole this area that was under the hands of the great dynasties as well as the great rulers once, that has been disintegrated or fragmented, let's say divided, and the Mughal after the fall of the Mughal dynasty. So there was no any dynasty, there was no any great rulers to rule over all this area or the province. I hope that everyone is getting up here properly. You can refer to the book also as well, page number 10, 11 and 12. So up to here I think everyone is clear.